talking, I don't sweat that. If they don't trust me either, I respect that. But she need down the ride, oh I bet that. Ooh, I slide for my people, don't forget that. Don't forget that, don't forget that. Ooh, I slide for my people, don't forget that. Don't forget that, don't forget that. Ooh, I slide for my people, don't forget that.
Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is JH. How y'all doing, Postal family? Is everybody good? Is everybody cool? Everybody clean? Are you crisp? Are you feeling irie today? DeJoy's 10-year plan could gut the United States Postal Service. He doesn't want you to know the details. Let's talk. The public learned last fall of one particularly controversial element of the United States Postmaster General Louis DeJoy's 10-year plan for the U.S. Postal Service that would be rolling out soon. Eventually, the function of sorting and delivery mail would be consolidated into regional centers, leaving empty former sorting space in the back of post offices. No layoffs were announced. At first glance, this sounds unconscious, but seasoned postal observers suspect that with less activity happening at smaller or rural post offices, they become vulnerable to reduction in hours or closure. This leads to the kind of job losses that initially present as, don't worry, we'll relocate you to the regional center, but are experienced by postal workers as if I don't commute 2 hours there and back each day, I lose my job. In response, the Save the Post Office Coalition wrote the Secretary of the USPS Board of Governors to ensure the board was made aware of emails from 160,000 postal customers across the country urging them to stop elements of DeJoy's plan before it's too late. These were personal messages. The U.S. provides a service to the public. It was never intended to be profit-making business. I'm disappointed and ashamed at where politics seems to be taking us. As a former United States Postal Service employee and someone who regularly uses USPS, I ask you do something about DeJoy, who continues to degrade everything about the Postal Service, especially the service part of it. There's a bunch of them. We have yet to hear a response or acknowledgement that the message from the public were received, and DeJoy continues to make it clear that he doesn't want anyone asking questions about his 10-year plan. On the same day USPS leadership received our coalition's message, the Postal Regulatory Commission issued a public inquiry order to ask DeJoy to provide details on the sorting and delivery changes under his plan. In the order, the commission said, notes that stakeholders have expressed concerns regarding lack of a forum to explore the impacts of these proposed changes. DeJoy responded with an objection to the commission's inquiry. Let's keep talking about. DeJoy delivered the keynote address at the National Postal Forum, where he spoke at length, touting his efforts to implement dramatic changes and increase the pace of his 10-year plan. The Postmaster General told the audience that his dramatic changes must be done at a pace and with tenacity that is rarely seen. However, these changes are a mystery to many, and for a public institution, this mystery is dangerous. If the past is any guide, the effects of potential post office closing, reduction of hours will be devastating, particularly in rural and indigenous communities. The Save the Post Office Coalition organized a petition to the Postal Regulatory Commission, urging them to stop his dramatic changes. The bottom line is that the public has the right to more transparency. There is nothing to suggest that DeJoy has abandoned his privatization vision of the people who got him into the job. So it's our job as citizens to make absolutely sure any upcoming dramatic changes to the post office don't shrink and privatize the institution, but protect and expand it for generations to come. It's interesting, isn't it? So here's the thing. This article was a year ago. This is what they talked about a year ago before the changes happened. This article was in 2023 in May. This article was warning people about what was to come. I read this article, parts of it, a year ago, warning people of things to come. People said it wouldn't happen. Now we have SNDCs across the country. People said it wouldn't happen. People said that we were never going to get electric vehicles. They're here. People said that people were not going to get forced out of their jobs. It's happening. People said that everything was going to be okay. No, they always talk about stuff. Nothing ever happens. Nothing ever changes. Everything's going to be the same. They just talk a lot of smack. It's not talk anymore. It's happening. When are we going to wake up and realize that regardless of what we feel, this stuff is happening? I said about 7-8 months ago that the union was aware of certain changes. They were being silent because they were trying to get the details of the changes so that they didn't scare people. Said that. Then I gave you guys some articles where people were being forced because their plant shut down to have to drive over 2 hours to get to their other location. You all remember that? If you've been with me a while, these are the things we spoke about. But again, this article was from over a year ago. All of this stuff is happening. We just spoke about the infamous sit down and obey what we want you to do room. That's what they basically should call it. The standby room. It's there. We spoke about accessing. It's happening. We spoke about this weird thing where you can hold on to a job and just gotta hope that it'll come back. It's here as well. This is not to scare anybody. Like I said when I first spoke about it, it's just to make people aware that when I read certain articles and people that are on the inside that put these articles out, is to let everybody know these are things that are happening or are things that are coming. So when I speak about things on this channel, it's just basically from a personal perspective, because I don't speak on behalf of the post office. But what I am doing is sharing the same information that's being shared to me, where you can readily look the stuff up, but people don't like to read as much. I get it, and that's okay. But I have my own personal spin to it, and I always talk about things from my perspective. I'm not always right, but it's still sharing the information with you. Regardless of whether or not we like the information, it is still being shared. It is still being reported. So we just also spoke about the major delays that are going on up there in Atlanta. Y'all remember that? And my delivery style is a lot different than any other person that you see talking on here, like these podcasters, because I'm talking to you. I'm talking with you. You know, I always read while I'm talking, I read the comments as they play out. Talk about all the delays and the trucks being sitting there for 8, 9, 10 hours, the domino effect of these things and delaying of the mail. I spoke about how vehicles are going to be monitored. Y'all remember that? When I said they're going to be putting these GPS tracking devices, and all I got was, we got these things already. We got them in our scanners. We got them in our scanners already. Oh, you talking smack. This been here. And then all of a sudden they realize, holy smack, They can actually see everything we're doing, right down to the speed, right down to braking power, everything. Yeah, I spoke about that beforehand. I give you forewarning of things to come, because as it's happening or it's about to happen, I share it. I just need y'all to do diligent and pay attention. Prepare yourself. As I said in a few of my videos, my mother told me, hope for the best, but prepare for the worst. Prepare for the worst and hope for the best. This is just me reading an article. Y'all tell me what you think. This is JH, and I'm out.
Unexpected expenses stressing you out? Get the money you need now with Loans for Feds, a program designed specifically for federal employees. Bad credit is not a problem. Application is fast and easy with same-day approvals. Apply now.